Which basic knowledge did you totally forget for a moment? My age, starting in my early 20s. Or so I think. Not long after my daughter was born, I took her to a meetup with friends. I put her car seat next to another baby in the group. Then, sitting down, I asked the mom across from me how it was having twins. I completely forgot that one of those babies was mine. I asked the mom across from me how it was having twins? That's when you shout, no takebacks. And run away. I was just starting a new school in 9th grade and had to write an essay about myself that the other kids in the class would read. I forgot how to spell pants and wrote pants. I was ordering hot wings at a local barbecue joint. I was wondering if they still came with the fibrous, green vegetable but couldn't remember the name. Ended up describing it to the cashier and she looks at me weird and says, "You mean celery?" Yes, that's what I meant. That's when you speak with an accent and pretend English isn't your native language. What is the English word? Ja. Celery. Just say celery in perfect monotone English. I just said celery in the online dictionary monotone voice. The word scissors mid-surgery. Normally we call them Mets, for Metzenbaum scissors, but we had a new student as the scrub tech and I went to ask for Mets, asked a few times, tried to remember the word scissors, failed, referred to them as snippies and did a little finger scissors motion, looking like an idiot in front of the doctor. At least it worked and I got my scissors. Edit, wow, thanks for the gold and silver. Lol, I pretty much always call scissors snips at home and while I'm looking for them I absent-mindedly do the finger snipping thing. Makes it a lot of fun when I need scissors at my office job. Tongue. I call them where are the ducking scissors or we have 10 pairs of scissors and I can't find a single fucking one of them at home. Tied a tie for church one morning. Nice, symmetrical knot, but I got it a little too short on the first try. No big deal, I always do that. I'll just tie it wait. How do you even tie a tie? Had to YouTube it after having just done it literally the moment before. Once something becomes mechanical memory it's hard to deliberately recall it. I have forgotten my PIN code a couple times because I've had it for so long it has become muscle memory, then one day I'm standing there in front of the ATM like a dunce. Did that with the last 4 of my SSN once too. They wanted me to type it, so my brain automatically went PIN, and then once I caught myself I had to try really hard to remember my SSN. I once gave my SSN its own little tune, and I've never forgotten it. Somehow, I've never thought to do this with my ATM PIN, and it's a struggle every time. Somebody asked me what day of the week it was, so I lifted up both of my hands to see which made an L. How to spell of was unclear on where the V goes. There was like a whole week for me a couple years ago where every time I wrote of I actually wrote of and then was baffled for a couple minutes because I knew it looked wrong but couldn't figure out exactly why. It helps when writing songs for Behemoth though. I whispered into my wife's mouth once. To be fair, she kept her mouth open, to listen to me. Edit, I posted this further down, but like this, 3-0 me my wife. I almost laughed out loud. We were in public too. I got done whispering to her, and I was leaned in all close, her mouth agape, and our eyes met. And we both realized how dumb that all was, and we scampered away. I still do it sometimes. Especially if she yawns around me. I forgot how to whisper. When speaking in a second language, #X200B, how to say literally every single word of the entire language, and it happens at the exact moment that someone asks me a question, every time. Oh, you speak language? Say something in language. Promptly forgets entire language despite years of study. Happens with musicians too. Oh, you play instrument. Go ahead and play us something. Forgets entire repertoire of music. Here's Wonderwall, I guess. When I was a senior in college, I spent several minutes longer than I should have thinking that onion was spelled the same as union, and wondering how people could tell the difference in writing. If it makes you feel better, I read both of those words as onion and was very distressed until I realized that union is a different word. Unions have layers. The Soviet onion. I was out boogie boarding in the ocean when it started raining. No thunder, and you're wet anyway, so who cares? But I put my board over my head so I can see a bit better. And I notice the sound of the rain hitting the board and think, wow, that sounds just like a rain stick. The rain sounds like a rain stick. I forget what a washing machine is called at least once a month. I end up calling it a clothes washer out of desperation. People laugh at me every time. Frown. To be fair, it's a more accurate name. If I'm running up the stairs or down the stairs and suddenly think, how am I doing this? Walking becomes manual for a second and I fall. It turns the autopilot off, like when the dentist says breathe through your nose at it. Also the same with ducking, you start thinking, wow, I'm actually having sex, then your boner betrays you instead of enjoying the moment. Happens to almost every first timer. Oh, you ducker, this is totally going to happen to me today now that you've said this. God damn it, it's extra laundry day. Fuck. When you step forward with one foot, which arm are you supposed to swing? Mother ducker. I don't know anymore. Better swing both to be safe. I have, on 2 occasions, forgotten the word aquarium. The closest I could manage was fish zoo. I forgot hourglass and described it to my coworkers as that sand timer thing. Nobody else could remember the real word until someone Googled it. Then we all felt really dumb. It's best when your dumb is contagious. Once while driving, I wondered how blind people see the lane divider lines. I forgot my own birthday a few times. Just didn't seem too important till someone asked and I was like, ooh. I have 2 kids and a very busy husband, so I'm in charge of all the appointments, insurance, pharmacy calends and pickups. Lots of things where I have to recite their birth dates. I rarely make appointments for myself, and I have no medications, as of yet. So I recently made an appointment for myself and had to say my birth date. Except what came out of my mouth was my husband's birthday, and I didn't even realize it until she repeated it back to me. No, wait, sorry, I told her, that's my husband. Mine is, and proceeded to tell her my son's birthday. Since my son is 8, there's absolutely no reason for him to see a gynecologist. Obviously his gender is a pretty decent reason not to as well, but it's not like the receptionist knew I was reciting a male's birthday, just someone from 2010, she didn't even bother repeating it back to me. I only just barely stopped myself from reciting my, even younger, daughter's birthday next. After a far too long pause, I finally told her my own birthday. The woman on the phone was either very suspicious of me or very amused and trying not to laugh at me. Either way, her voice sounded odd and strained for the rest of the phone call. When I used to work in a pizza place, I once asked a guy ordering over the phone what his credit card number was. There was a pause for a few seconds and he tells me his phone number. When I questioned it, he says, oh, duh. And rattles off his social security number. Same process again and he tells me his birth date. I was so confused, so I just took a deep breath and asked for his credit card number. Apparently the first time I only said card number, so he panicked internally and started reading everything in his wallet. I work in pizza. One time at the end of taking someone's order on the phone, I said it'll be ready for you to pick up in about 15 minutes. And he responded with thanks, I love you too. He just really likes timely pizza. Once I entered the shower, got wet, and then I got so distracted that I came out without actually washing. Had to re-enter the shower. At least one morning out of every 3 I forget whether I've washed my hair yet. I ask cause I just forgot for like half a minute how many days were in a year. I always struggle to remember if it is 52 or 54 weeks in a year. The power at my house had gone. I'm on a meter, so it's fairly common thing. My phone started to die, so I put it on charge. Then spent about 10 minutes trying to figure out why it wouldn't charge. My attempt also included trying to Google why it wouldn't charge, to no avail, cause no power, so no internet. It was at that point I realized.